It's a busy stretch for the Timbers. They're 2 games into a 5-game in 16-day stretch. But it has been even busier for our guest, Timbers forward Jeremy Ebobisse, joining Ross Smith and me on Timbers in 30 this week. Recently back from the Under-20 World Cup in South Korea, then a trip up to Starfire on Tuesday for the U.S. Open Cup. I want to start there. Obviously not the result you guys wanted. What did you learn from playing in that match?
Yeah, I mean, obviously disappointed to come away from the rivalry, losing. Especially they had the better of us for the last 2 games that we played with T2 as well. But, you know, just being in that kind of environment, I mean, we had a lot of traveling supporters there in that tight-knit stadium. Sounders had a lot of fans as well. I think that added pressure that it gave to some of us younger, inexperienced professionals was something that we'll have to take moving forward. And I don't think we were necessarily rattled by that experience, but it's definitely something that we were a little bit unaccustomed to. And we're going to have to get used to it if we want to play big minutes in the league.
I assume you're taking a lot of things on board since you signed professionally in August of 2016. What's it been like? I imagine it's been quite a whirlwind with all these first experiences.
Yeah, it's been a lot since signing. I mean, dating back to August. I mean, a lot of travel, a lot of different teams that I've been training with, getting to know a lot of different coaches and players. But I think just the hardest thing has just been to finally settle down. As you know, I've been traveling with the under-20s a lot, and that kind of has gotten in the way of me being able to kind of really get in the rhythm with Portland, and I think that that's kind of affected the way I've performed. But at the same time, now I'm back from the World Cup. I feel good. I had a pretty good World Cup for the time I was on the field, and I'm ready to kind of push on and end the season on a strong note and help the team accomplish our numerous goals.
You decided to turn professionally after 2 years at Duke University. What was the biggest motivating factor for you to go pro early, you could say?
I think the U-20 World Cup was a big one. I know that a lot of the players that make the under-20 U.S. team are professionals, and I wanted to give myself the best chance to make that team. And in order to make that team, I needed to be challenged to the fullest of my ability. And although college provided me with a good platform, I mean, the ACC is a great conference, playing 2 games a week, lots of games, lots of minutes against top college athletes that go onto the MLS. I just felt that I needed to be challenged by more experienced, older guys who have played in different leagues around the world for different coaches, etc. I think that that experience has been invaluable for me throughout the under-20 cycle. And I mean, dating back to the first camp, I can see a big improvement between my first camp with under-20s and the World Cup. So I feel vindicated for my decision.
Talk a lot about the World Cup. Just back from South Korea, you guys made it to the quarterfinals. You scored 2 goals in that tournament.
Good celebrations as well.
Fantastic one, yeah, against New Zealand in the round of 16. What was that experience like for you, and how do you ultimately feel you performed?
Yeah, it was a really special experience. I don't think anyone on that team would say otherwise. I mean, anytime you get the opportunity to get with a group of really special players, young players on the world stage representing our country, I mean, it's all a soccer player can ask for. And for us, we obviously had big goals moving in. We won CONCACAF for the first time in American history. We wanted to win the World Cup, and we felt that we had the talent to do so as well. Ultimately, we came up short, but we're really proud of our effort. And personally, I mean, my tournament went up and down. I started as a reserve, but due to injuries and suspensions, I got a chance to play against New Zealand and Venezuela, and I thought I stepped up when I was called upon, and I think that's something that our team was really proud of, just the depth that anyone could step in and be ready, and we wouldn't miss a beat.
A lot of travel for you from the CONCACAF tournament to the World Cup. Now you're back here for the Timbers this summer, and we'll start talking about Saturday's match. It's at altitude against the Colorado Rapids. Here are the Western Conference standings. The win over FC Dallas for the Timbers last weekend moved them into 2nd place with 24 points. 1 year after finishing 2nd in the West, Colorado was in last place and were even in worse shape before they won their last 2 matches. After playing Colorado on Saturday, the Timbers will play at 9th place Minnesota on Wednesday.